Nami's father confirmed. Maybe. I know people don't like this character is actually the child of another character trope, but to that I say, you probably don't want to read this then, as I can argue who the father of Nami is. Now, who is Nami father? It's not someone we know a lot about or seen a lot about, well, in his human form, but I think Nami father is Spencer from the Roger Pirates. Well, despite the fact he looks like a male Nami, there is another connection. A Spencer is a navigational tool used on ships. There is another connection. A Spencer is a navigational gaff-rigged sail hoisted in place of a larger mainsail when winds are very high. The trysail provides enough thrust to maintain control of the ship, e.g. to avoid ship damage, and to keep the bow to the wind. It is hoisted abaft, i.e., directly behind the mainmast, taking the place of the much larger mainsail, or, on a brig, abaft the foremast. A trysail is analogous to a storm jib. There is also another funny parallel. Spencer is also a word for someone whose job it is to hand out money and provisions. It evolved into the word dispenser. Nami is usually the one who hands out allowances to the crew. So Spencer is Nami father who cares. Well, I say it is important as Spencer has been in our face for quite some time. Spencer no longer goes by his name or face and now is better known as Big News Morgans. This is all hinted at in chapter 46. In the picture, Nami is bonding with a albatross, seagull, and there is a few things. First off, it's dressed up as a marine, which could be a reference to Belle Mere, Nami adoptive mother. Her name is French for stepmother, and also Mere in Norse means sea. However, next to Nami is a straw hat on a postal box. This is a reference to Spencer, who according to this theory is a Roger pirate, Straw Hat, who now commands birds to go around delivering newspapers, postal box. Now Morgan is also a French name which originated in the Celtic times. In Gaelic, language of Ireland, and France, the name Morgan means born of the sea. Now Morgan is a very stingy character. He's always chasing a big story and writing it. However, he wants truth or lie as long as it makes him money. Reminds me of Nami. However, Nami and Morgan are not so greedy when it comes to what is really important. In Sabaradi, Nami was willing to part with all her money to save Kami, no question, only to be instantly outbid by a celestial dragon before Eve making an offer. As for Morgan, he is greedy and a liar, but he has his pride as a journalist. Like when he refused a check in order to publish a story and apparently the bribe was big. Nami and Morgans are also a lot stronger than they look. While probably not the strongest person there is, he did knock out the CP agent. Morgans also seems to be well loved by his workers, showing that he must be a good boss to work for and treats his staff with respect while demanding hard work. Now Morgans is always in his hybrid form, which is odd as we never see anyone do that except for Chopper, who really just does it for merchandise. So I think the reason Morgans is always in hybrid form is Oda's way of telling us that his human form is important, and there is a reason he can't reveal it. Morgan is also an albatross user, and albatrosses and seagulls are seabirds and also navigational birds. Sailors lost at sea would use the seagull or albatross as a sign they are near land, and would follow them until they brought them back to land. Another interesting detail is that Nami is connected to the newspaper. Besides the last bounty update, when it was Robin who read the paper, probably because Nami would mention Kobe, and Robin for some reason tends not to share important information unless asked. Nami is always the one who reads out the news. And in chapter 96 we see her arguing with a albatross and threatening it for the outrageous price it was asking for the newspaper, which was 100 berry, which if in yen would be 0.69 cent in euro or 0.74 cent in dollar, demonstrating how much of a Scrooge Nami was. Also Usopp telling her to stop squawking is a very interesting wording there. Now I believe Morgans has been helping Luffy in his own way for some time. Maybe not helping him but using Luffy as a means of passing on a message to the world, because something that is odd is that Luffy bounty has the D in it. This is odd as we are told that Roger's bounty poster was Gold Roger, not Goldie Roger. Now as far as I am aware we never seen Blackbeard's poster intact. Which might mean Luffy is the only one with the D in his poster, as we know Law's poster misses it, and I believe Kid is a D. Shanks and Kaido might also be D-Clan, but their posters are just Shanks and Kaido, no family name. Perhaps someone who works with the news published this to correct what happened to Roger, who didn't really like being called Gold Roger. Morgan seems to take a special interest in the supernova, believing they have the potential to become Pirate King. He is making sure the world sees them, but also makes sure the world sees Luffy in particular. Now he did recently publish a story that make it look like Luffy kidnapped Vegapunk, so that's not very helpful, but I never said he was trying to make Luffy look good, but also he did say this will make the WG happy, so perhaps he is trying to get back in the good graces after beating up an agent and publishing a story that made them look bad. But to prove he's also not all bad, for some reason he agreed to help Vivi and is hiding her on his ship. So Morgan is a former Roger pirate and father to Nami. Now is he just a bad father not trying to reach out to his daughter? Well, maybe he is an absentee father. That does seem to be the default setting, however keep in mind Morgan should believe Nami is dead. The island Oikot where she is from was attacked about 20 years ago and Nami was taken by Belmere. And probably renamed, since now would she know Nami's real name. So there really isn't any reason to even suspect Nami is his daughter, and yes, as a journalist he could probably investigate, but what would be his motivation to think she is his daughter after all these years just cause she is what? Orange-haired? We to this day do not know Nami's real name. Now I mentioned Morgan is Celtic. French for born of the sea, right? Well, this is important. In the recent SBS, which is what led me to chapter 49, which got me suspicious of Nami being Morgan's daughter, which was a theory I nearly gave up on. Now in the recent SBS it was revealed Zoro's mother name is Terra, which means earth in several languages. This is relevant because Sanji's mother is named Sora, which means sky. Nami means wave in Japanese, and Morgan means born of the sea. Nami name would be Morgan's Nami, unless her real name is Morgan's Umi. Umi means sea in Japanese. Now this is interesting. Luffy is the sun god. Maybe his mother name is Solar. Zoro is the son of earth. Sanji is the son of the sky. Nami is the daughter of the sea. The missing piece is Usopp. We don't know his full name. It's believed he's a Mont Blanc, but we don't know his actual name, as if he was a Mont Blanc he would have said something about it, so it's probably a name his family doesn't go by anyway. Anyway, I believe Usopp following this theme is the moon to the group. After all, the moon reflects the light from the sun, and that can be said of Usopp, who often shines thanks to Luffy. In chapter 96, the same chapter, we see Nami reading the newspaper and threatening the albatross. Luffy gets his first bounty and can see Usopp in the background. So again, that's Luffy equals sun. Zoro equals earth. Sanji equals sky. Nami equals the sea. Usopp equals the moon. The East Blue 5. Luffy and his true 4 commanders. Sorry Jinbei.